Alright guys, so as anybody who's watched any of my videos so far knows, I got this engine here. Eventually it'll get built and it'll go in the car. It'll be, you know, a little bit better than that one, hopefully with a blower on it. That's the plan. I tore it apart, had some cool parts in it, some roller rockers, had a E303 comp cam in it, or sorry, E303 Ford cam. I'll tell you why I said comp cam there in just 1 second. So I got a little carried away today and just started taking things apart because I can't resist myself. Obviously that other motor's not going in there anytime soon, so why not put that E303 in this motor, right? See what's up. Well, I get it this far torn apart and I find some comp cams roller rockers. So I'm about to pull those off, pull the timing set out, and get this cam out of here. And I'm curious to see if this engine already had a cam in it and it was just being secretive about it, because it definitely doesn't. It doesn't sound like it has a cam in it. It just sounds like it has, yeah, Flowmasters, stock 302. But I guess we're gonna find out here in a second. Let's check back in just a minute. All right, so cam is out, rockers are off, all that good stuff. Got it all lined up right there. So these rockers that I discovered when I pulled the valve cover off, I did a little bit of research on them, figured out what they are. They are actually crane rockers. I said comp earlier. They're crane. They have a little Ford logo right there. Turns out these are Cobra rockers, 1.7s, whereas these ones that I had right here, 1.6s, obviously stamped right there. No name. I can't find there's not even a serial number or SKU number or anything on those. But the cam itself, you can see right there, it says ZE. From everything I can gather, Ford cams would either be stamped, as far as Foxbody Mustangs go, with Z or ZE, and I think ZE is the stock one for this motor. I'm pretty sure, from everything I can gather. Can't really find exact on that on the internet. I think the Z cam would be like a speed density and ZE would be air mass, but I guess it doesn't really matter either way. Alright, so I'm several days into what I thought was going to be a real quick camshaft swap, and of course I go down a couple rabbit holes with it and find a couple other issues that need fixed as I go along. So I'll give you a quick rundown on where I'm at right now, kind of what's holding me up, what I'm waiting on, all that sort of good stuff. So I put that E303 in here. I ended up using the 1.7 roller rockers. I rolled it over, I got piston to valve clearance and all that sort of good stuff, so everything seems fine there. I had to run these taller valve covers to fit them, because the shorter ones, when I pulled them off, there was actually a spot, let's look, you look in there? Those 1.7s on that stock cam were hitting this thing at some point. You can see the little nick in there. So it clearanced itself, I guess, but I'm not gonna let that happen again, especially with a bigger cam. While I had all this apart, I went ahead and dropped in that MSD that I got. I got this 3G alternator upgrade from LMR, and I got that all routed and hooked up. I'm really excited because I'm actually going to have to take the fan off again because the water pump's leaking. I had one of the water pump gaskets. I didn't have the one for the little backing plate, so I actually had to, I tried to RTV it and, you know, just make it work, but it didn't work. Guess at least at this point I got the practice, so I should be able to have that on and off pretty quick once I get a new water pump. While I was back here, when I pulled the PCV pipe out, it came out like nothing. It was like barely sitting in there. and you actually see it's got a whole bunch of wear on it. But feeling around down in there, and of course I had the lower intake off also. There wasn't a screen in it or anything, so I ordered a new PCV, new grommet, and new screen. It's not like the car ran weird without it or anything, but if I'm putting it back together, I'm gonna put it back together right, especially for what, a $25 part. It just sucks because it cost me a little bit more time. But overall, I mean, this job's going relatively smooth. Just, it's one of those things where you start a job like this and you want to finish it, you know, the next day. You want to knock this job out in a weekend, but it just doesn't always go that way. End up needing more parts, end up finding some other crap that some other knuckleheads took apart and whatnot. But I mean, take your time, do it right, otherwise you'll regret it and have to take it apart again, like I'm gonna have to fix this water pump. But that's just part of it, so whatever, not a big deal. I am gonna use this 70mm throttle body that I got. I measured the one that was on it and looked at it more closely. The one that was on it looked like a stock one, didn't have any actual markings on it. That's a 70mm BBK. But yeah, that's about where I'm at with this right now. Hopefully I should have that water pump midweek and should be able to have this thing put back together next weekend. That's the goal, at least. I'm also waiting on some breather caps for these valve covers. When I got them, they were pre-drilled this way, so I'm just gonna rerun that breather line. It should be all right. But yeah, pretty simple job. The 3G alternator seemed to work pretty good, or seemed like it mounted up pretty good. I did have to get a bigger belt, I'll throw that out there. The pulley here is about 1.5 inches bigger than the stock alternator pulley, and this thing was running the smog pump delete and I think it was an 84.5 belt, so I bumped it up to I think an 86.5, and that one actually was still pretty tight to get on there, but it went on with no issues, so not a big deal, whatever. Alright, so like I said, this project didn't go as flawlessly as I'd hoped. I of course made it a little bit more difficult because I was doing an alternator and adding a handful of new parts and stuff, but nothing too serious. The biggest pain about it's that stupid water pump, but whatever. Even with that, I've enjoyed doing this project. It's been fun just to be in my garage, been finally warming up a little bit, so I've been able to be out here and have the door open, drink a little bit of beer, watch some TV, catch up on some of the YouTube guys. What do I got going on? The Infamous Project, Brutal, Foxcast, Fox Chamber, yeah, all the regulars. So I can deal with doing this even if the project doesn't go as planned. Just keep that in mind. A project doesn't always go as planned like this. But hopefully in the next video I'll be able to have this thing fired off. I should have that water pump this week, so hopefully everything goes good. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.